research specialist at Gartner, and that kind of involves both qualitative research as well as a little bit of quantitative research. So we focus on qualitative research in this team, and it's a peer and practitioner research team. So it involves a lot of experiences and a lot of conversations with industry experts and veterans. I actually got to know the day I had my interviews, and I was already out with my friends. I was already, full of nerves, and I wanted to chill a little bit. And then I got to know via text, and the first person I called was my mom, and she was really happy for me. And then she got mad because I didn't come back home. I just spent the entire night celebrating. I've been doing humanities my entire life, and that kind of gets you lost in the abstract. I wanted a subject that was more connected to the ground reality, so I chose management. I really wanted a unique management experience. I wanted to cover the basics as well as get an insight into the subject, and that's why Vedika was the perfect choice. I think a liberal arts education is very important to have a well-rounded perspective on things. You can understand why a supply chain problem is happening, but a liberal arts education kind of shows you what the real life consequences of that is. Empathy is nurtured through liberal arts program. Perspectives are developed through liberal arts programs. So I think that is why it's very important to combine both management and liberal arts. I think personal growth can happen both within an institution and outside of it. And it's very important for an institution to kind of foster your personal growth, and a lot of institutions don't do that. Vedika is one that does. So one aspect of my personal growth has been my hostel experiences, my experiences with teachers, my experiences in different circumstances. But another has been reflecting on these experiences. And Vedika's enabled certain classes to happen, understanding yourself, finding out what personality you fit in, which is kind of put everything in perspective. So you live the experience and then you get to reflect on it and theorize it as well. So there's a mix of theory and practicality happening, and that really happens with Vedika. My biggest learning has to be the importance of teamwork. Before Vedika, I just did solo projects. But when I came to Vedika, I was given so many group projects, and I finally understood the saying, that term, the whole saying that is that the whole is better than the sum of its parts. It really materialized in Vedika for me. I worked on projects where I don't think whatever I would have produced individually would have even come close to what we produced as a group. So I think that has been my biggest learning over here. It's very hard to choose one, but when I think about my favorite course, I think it would be, we did pricing at one point, and we were doing, so we talked a little bit about economics and behavioral economics in that, and it's something I've never studied. And it's something that was really interesting to me, and then I read up more about it. Especially this one thing, that it's the decoy effect. I don't know if you know about it, but the decoy effect basically talks about how a lot of people in pricing kind of put a middleman, so middle product, to kind of induce people to buy the larger product. For example, popcorn, right? You have small, you have medium, and you have large. So nobody really goes for the small or the medium, they go for the large, because the medium and the large, the difference between them is very little. And that's something I've experienced in real life. So I just realized I'm getting duped. And the course was telling me I was getting duped. And I was very happy to know. I remember telling everybody, you're facing the decoy effect right now. So I think that was one of the courses that I found was very interesting to me. My favorite faculty is Ankur Kulshrestha. He's had a lot of courses with us, but we have a difference between online education as well as physical education, right? And I've had the liberty of kind of seeing him in both respects. And he has a very big personality, both off-screen and on-screen. And the best part, I think, for him, because a lot of my education was online, was that he never made it feel static. It was always dynamic, even the project that he gave. So this time I'm talking to a camera. I've talked to a camera once before, and that was for one of his assignments, a book review. And I remember deleting footage and doing it again and again, but it really helped me. And he's kind of helped me get acclimatized to the online space. So I think he is one amazing teacher. Definitely, Vedika has given me a lot of intangibles, and I think the biggest has been the confidence that I've gotten after this program, the feeling of empowerment, self-assurance. I believe I was a very meek person before this program, but having been through so many GDs, so many presentations, and also being in an environment that kind of, fosters you to be confident, I think, has made me feel more self-assured of myself. So that's one intangible that I take from the program. One more that I do take is the kind of relationships I've fostered over here, the kind of people I've connected with. These are connections I feel like I will take forward in my entire life. So I think that is something that Vedika has given me. I worked with Nilima Dwivedi. She is a director at MSD. And it was a very interesting experience for me because For the first time, I was talking to somebody who's been in the industry for so long, and also very male-dominated industry. She started in public policy, and as she said, "वो बाबू का होता था," and when she entered it, there weren't a lot of women in that space. So just to hear her trials and tribulations, and just hearing her entire experience has been inspiring for me. For women everywhere, higher education is very important in terms of empowerment, in terms of independence. But when you go for an MBA, you're also getting financial independence along with it. And for young women today, that's very important. So I think my one thing that I would like to say to them would be go for it. It's really important.